Is it true? It's different now, right? Pathfinder.
All right, I wanted to see you. Real hope again. It's been a while.
They've got a Pathfinder again. This is what we do.
And you've done it splendidly. Achieved with that remnant vault is unprecedented, Pathfinder. Impossible. But with new scientific talent waking up...
Hey guys, what's going on? TheNotSoTrophyHunter back with another part of Mass Effect Andromeda. I tried starting another couple of recording sessions, but they kind of wound up crashing, but we're back and we're gonna try and see how...
I know him. Seems like a good man.
Well, what are you waiting for? There's a new world out there.
Thank you, Ryder.
Filed a complaint with Tan.
Back to the Nexus.
Bar opens on the Nexus. Visitors herald the vortex as a sign of civility, and the opposite of civility, as more sleepers wake. This is the NS.
So what I've gathered so far is the Nexus is basically the old Citadel. Nice. Oh, bless me.
Your father's first sidearm, a memento of his early Alliance service.
I bet that saw plenty of action.
Pilot's first kill occurred in combat during the First Contact War.
Back when Turians were the enemy. Crazy times.
Memory trigger.
The coffee machine Mom got for Dad. He was so busy designing you, needed the caffeine.
I did not realize I owed my existence to a being.
And now you know what humility feels like.
Pathfinder?
What about your family?
I'm an orphan. My parents died on the Minoir colony when it was attacked years ago. No siblings. I left some friends and distant relatives behind, but I have friends here too. I love piloting, but I like the idea of going back to my roots and farming like my parents did. Someday.
Why did you join the initiative?
The most popular question on the station. Honestly, I wouldn't have known about this project if Nozomi hadn't reached out to me.
Nozomi?
Captain Dunn. Of all the captains I've piloted for, she's the best. I've always been a wanderer at heart. When she asked me to be her pilot, how could I say no to the adventure of a lifetime?
How do you feel about all this now that we're here?
Hopeful. I know, it's a rose-colored outlook, but someone's got to keep the positivity coming, right?
Have to go now. See you later.
Take care.
Pathfinder rider, if you will. Hello, Pathfinder. A moment?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
I have a math problem. Some vital equations that only a mind like Sam's could solve. They concern strange transmission patterns in the Scourge. Perhaps random noise, perhaps not.
Sam likes new experiences. It'll be an opportunity to encounter math.
Given the complexity and the security implications, I recommend transferring the equations directly into SAM node. I have them on an optical storage disk for you.
I'll see if I have time.
Thank you, Pathfinder. Please thank Sam as well.
Ah, Pathfinder, the information you gathered is marvelous. You and your Sam, of course.
Thanks, Mr.
Professor Hirik. My colleagues and I work directly with Sam, refining your field scans into discoveries to benefit the initiative. Hopefully.
I'm usually out in the field, but I wouldn't mind talking shop. Lab. You know.
You are always welcome.
Indeed. It's thanks to your sterling data gathering that we were able to wrangle this space from Addison.
Keep up the good work, champ. Hi, Pathfinder. Want to hit some rocks for science?
Try and stop
Absolutely.
me.
What do you need?
Sam and I use your scans made a VI for geophysics surveys. Beta builds on the console. Test it out in the field, and I'll wrangle you a consultant's bonus from Director Addison. How's that sound?
Great.
What's the trouble?
I've got power shortages throughout the station. I can't for the life of me find the cause. Oh, whoa, you're the Pathfinder. Hey, sorry, please ignore me. You've got way more important things to do.
Power to the Nexus is pretty important. I'm happy to help.
That's great, because I'm at a loss. There are obvious short circuits cropping up all over the place. A Pathfinder's eye might reveal something.
There's a power short here. We could scan the area.
These power outages make no sense. Sure glad I went to school for this. Thanks for nothing, education.
We're constantly striving to make life on the Nexus more enjoyable for all our but we
Sure glad I went to school for this. Thanks for nothing, education.
Hello there, neighbor. I'm Gian Garson, the founder of the Andromeda Initiative. I thought you might like to hear more about our plans.
Okay.
Great. If you're seeing this, it means our Pathfinders have done their job and made new friends in the galaxy. Welcome to the Nexus. But I want to put your mind at ease. Seeing our arcs arrive in your neighborhood probably raised some concerns. I'm happy to address them.
What are you planning to do in this galaxy?
Great question. I'd be worried about that too. I can assure you, we have no hostile intentions whatsoever. We're pilgrims who simply want to live in peace. We're eager to learn about new cultures, new ideas, and share our own with you. But we understand trust needs to be earned, no matter what galaxy you're in. And the initiative looks forward to doing just that.
Why did you leave the Milky Way?
I get that question a lot. Many of us have a deep curiosity that needs to know what else is out there. Our own Milky Way is just one tiny speck in a universe full of mysteries. And speaking for myself, the thought of exploring those mysteries in Andromeda was a call to adventure I could not resist. Thank you for taking the time to listen. On behalf of my fellow Milky Way travelers, we couldn't be more excited about what the future holds for all of us.
Yeah.
Welcome
Another
to the Cultural
power
Exchange Center. Please have a look around.
On behalf of the Nexus, I welcome you to the cult.
We're just getting things up and running. Pathfinder, I'm glad you could stop by. Pardon the dust while we set everything up.
Have you heard anything about the Ket?
Unfortunately, yes. Now, that's a species we won't be inviting here anytime soon. I'd hoped our encounters would be peaceful, but I suppose that was too much to ask.
What goes on here?
The Cultural Center is a place where new races we've met can visit and exchange ideas. They can learn more about the Milky Way species, while we foster an air of cooperation and understanding. We're just getting everything ready. Hopefully it won't be long before we have our first visitors.
How did you get this job?
I was a sociologist in the Milky Way. While there were plenty of cultures to study, the books on them had all been written. There was nothing new I could add. So when I heard about the initiative, I signed up right away. The idea of meeting new people, seeing how they've evolved, adapted to life's challenges, I couldn't resist.
Thanks.
Cool.
Of course, our hope is that you'll make friends in the cluster and send them our way. And when you have a second, check back with me on a favor I'd like to ask. Pathfinder, do you have a moment? We, need to explain you.
Explain me?
Our new VI over there is meant to describe the role of our Pathfinders, but it just lost all its settings in a crash. If you could fix them, that would really help us out. Just talk to the VI, and it'll do the rest.
Thanks.
Of course.
Hello there, neighbor. I'm Garson, the founder of the Andromeda Initiative. I thought you might like to hear more about our plans.
Maybe later.
No problem. I'll be here whenever you'd like to learn more. The Nexus is a place of friendship and cooperation. Glad you could visit.
We can start building a bank.
Pathfinder
Scan to assess the nature of the damage.
It's that scourge I'm wondering about. Sam recalled me radiation shields and hammers. But I hate I'm Garson, founder of the initiative. On behalf of the Nexus, I welcome you to the Cultural Center. Please have a look around. We hope you'll enjoy learning about the rich...
Hello there. I'm a human being. If you'd like to know more about my people, just ask.
Okay.
Good to hear. Humanity is a diverse species. You may notice different skin colors or religious beliefs among our people. Yet we don't let those differences come between us. We'd rather celebrate our diversity, rather than fight over it.
Where do you come from?
Humans come from a planet called Earth. It's a beautiful blue world, with everything from oceans to jungles, snowy mountain peaks to deserts. It's also an oasis of biological diversity. Scientists calculate Earth contains nearly 9 million unique animal and plant species.
What's human history like?
Humanity is a young people compared to many of the other Milky Way races. We didn't discover spaceflight until much later. But what we lack in age, we make up for with enthusiasm and a pioneer spirit. We'd like to think we can teach our fellow travelers a few new tricks. I'm glad you stopped by. Next time you see a human, ask about ice cream. It's one of the many great things we bring to Andromeda.
This is Ark Hyperion, one of several ships that made the long voyage from the Milky Way. This is an outpost for Milky Way colonists arriving in your galaxy. They come seeking a fresh start in Andromeda, yearning only for a land they can call home. If you encounter an outpost, feel free to drop by and say hello.
Solarians are considered among the brightest scientific minds of the Milky Way. We're known for our quick thinking, technological savvy, and intellectual powers of deduction. Solarians originate from a world known as Surkesh. It's a tropical planet covered with oceans and rainforests. As an amphibious species, we're at home in Surkesh's lush jungles, but with our technological advancements, we can adapt to nearly any environment. We look forward to studying the wonders of Andromeda and the rich diversity our galaxy has to offer.
What's Solarian history like?
Cooperating with the Asari, we were the second species in the Milky Way to help form a galactic government, the Citadel Council. From time to time, we also guided other species, such as the Krogan, to better channel their natural gifts towards worthy pursuits. It's our belief that the careful application of science and intellect is the key to improving the quality of life for all. It's been my pleasure. Rest assured, the people of Andromeda have nothing to fear from Solarians.
This is an image of the Citadel, considered the seat of government for many civilized races in the Milky Way galaxy. Here, the Council deliberates on matters of state. Eager to learn more about your own common citizen, eager to help those in need. As with
Welcome to the setup for your Pathfinder informational VR. I am programmed with all relevant data. However, you must identify which information I should prioritize. First, select your preferred voice and appearance, male or female.
Male, please.
Variable set. Which aspect of the Pathfinder's role should be highlighted? Exploration and discovery or first contact with new species?
Meeting new species.
Variable set. Next, should I emphasize the role of the Pathfinder team or their partner AI?
Go with the Pathfinder's team.
Variable set. Finally, should I provide career advice for future Pathfinders or an honor of former Pathfinders?
List the former Pathfinders.
Setup complete. Would you like to keep these settings?
It all sounds good to me.
Thank you for choosing this Pathfinder information VI. Implementing changes.
Sweet.
Scientists have a few answers. On behalf of the Nexus, I welcome you to the Cultural Center. Please have a look around. We hope you'll enjoy learning about the rich diversity of people who have arrived from the Milky Way galaxy.
Welcome, traveler. How may I assist?
That's all.
It has been my pleasure.
Welcome back. Hello again.
Thanks.
Of course.
We hope you enjoy learning about the rich diversity of people who have arrived from the Milky Way galaxy.
I'm certain, Professor.
Sam, we need more data on life in the cluster, whatever you can find.
Founder of the initiative. On behalf of the Nexus, I welcome you to the Cultural Center. Please have a look around.
These power outages make no sense.
Residents are still mourning the loss of garbage.
Hey.
killed after touching down on Habitat 7 in the Erickson system. Ryder's son has reportedly replaced him as Pathfinder, taking command of the Tempest in the ongoing search for a home in Andromeda. This is HMS.
Another power short.
An animal did this?
Affirmative. I am able to track it.
Broken arm doesn't lie.
I told you she fell.
The doc says that brings a textbook case of medical violence.
How many times have I told you this story?
343.
Wait, what? You've been keeping count?
Pathfinder, I believe you found the culprit responsible for the power
Good shot.
shortages.
That's not funny.
Alert Professor Herrick to come secure it.
Hydroponics reports oxygen production is nominal.
Hey, Cash.
Good job on the outpost. Maybe Addison will let you know.
What do you mean?
She's been pretty upset about not having an initiative outpost established yet. Understandable, if you ask me. I'm just glad she's got work to focus on now.
What sort of problems have you seen on the Nexus?
Situation's gone to shit pretty much sums it up. There's arcs missing. Some idiots tried to mutiny and take over, then more idiots offended my clan, so they left. And to top it all off, the founder of the initiative, Jean Garson, was killed.
What happened to Jean Garson?
Killed in the Scourge disaster. Her and a bunch of the other leaders. Tan might know more.
What kind of work do you do as superintendent?
I was part of the team that originally designed and built this place. I keep the station functional, or as functional as possible, considering.
Nothing more for now.
Try not to die out there. All right, divert some power from the lower deck.
Ryder, can you believe this place?
One space station, slightly dented.
You should have seen it a year ago. It was more than just dented. Anyway, thanks for bringing me on. Tan can't kick me off the station now, and it's been nice seeing my granddaughter again.
You really did miss her while you were gone, huh?
I really did. Cash can handle herself just fine, but it's still good to be nearby, just in case.
You're welcome, bud.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Pathfinder, do you have just a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Hi. The documentary's going great. Your comments really got people talking. By the way, Tan called us in for a talk about staying on message.
Is everything okay?
Oh, fine. And much less interesting than what you've been up to. Scientists are excited about your new outpost, though there are questions about how prodromos can survive where Sites 1 and 2 failed.
I gave Prodromos the best start a Pathfinder could. But we can't predict everything. We just do our best.
Probably not the rah-rah quote Tan would hope for, but very genuine. Facing those risks must be stressful. How do you relax between missions?
What about you? I can't imagine you putting your camera down for anything.
I'm not the one history cares about.
I need a minute to think about my answer. And I'd like to know.
Back home, I'd go sailing. I love the water. Nowadays, I play ocean sounds, close my eyes, and remember. Okay, your turn.
I read up on the amazing things we've seen. And the Tempest has some incredible views of the cluster.
This is history too, these little moments between. Shots of this remnant tech, some narration. That completes an episode. Thanks for stopping.
Not a problem.
Please address concerns first with Director Addison. One must obey protocol.
Job. If you want to keep it, do it. God damn it. You've shaken things up, Pathfinder. My department actually has colonial affairs to direct. And you have new tools to help grow the initiative.
I'll do the exploring. Don't you have someone else to track the numbers?
Get off your perch. This is where numbers become lives. You and your team are out there making Andromeda viable. That empowers all of us. Hit a threshold. A new cryo group can be brought out. Want more focus
that's
on
awesome.
research, like on Prodromos? That's your call. Brecker will introduce the interface and handle minutiae. All you need to do is decide what life in Andromeda means. No pressure.
Of course. Tan.
Hello. Director Tan is expecting you.
Last time I was here, this was a storage closet.
Pathfinder Hall just needed a Pathfinder to open.
We're still getting the commons area ready. Hydroponics is only at partial capacity.
Not good enough.
We don't have enough people. My workers need a break, Tan.
I sympathize, but not until our survival is no longer at risk. Now please excuse me while I meet with our Pathfinder. Hey, Ryder. Addison told me about the outpost. You're the hero of the hour.
Let's hold off on the celebration. We haven't found home yet.
Oh, there's no need for modesty. Success affords leverage over those who doubted you.
And you're my best friend?
A patron. One who shares your vision of a prosperous future.
I suppose
Fair
we
enough.
agree on that much.
I knew that given a chance, your talents would emerge. Deciphering the vault, alien terraforming. It's not how we imagined all this, but a good Pathfinder improvises.
Mm-hmm.
And a great one hangs it on the wall. Yours are the first trophies to grace Pathfinder Hall. You're a symbol now, Ryder. A reason for people to believe.
I plan on doing a lot more than that.
That's the confidence we need. Take charge and ignore your critics.
Careful, he'll end up adopting you, Ryder.
My staff.
Colleagues, you wouldn't be looking to cut us out, would you, Tan?
I remind you, I am the director of the initiative.
Acting director.
This isn't the time for arguing over who gets to be king. Too much is at stake. We should be cooperating.
That's what I've been saying since we arrived.
Then I look forward to winning our Pathfinder support.
I have concerns about your decision on Eos, Ryder. An outpost full of scientists won't do us much good if the Ket attack.
But it will help support the Nexus. Improved research could help feed our people.
And we could argue about it all day long, as we always do. The decision was made. Now we move on. What is your plan for moving on, Ryder?
We have a lead on the terraforming network. I need to take the Tempest deeper into the sector to investigate. If the other Golden Worlds are where they should be, this could get us closer to them.
Careful. The Ket are scouring the cluster for remnant technology. You'll end up in a fight, for sure. You might also run into exiles. They didn't leave the Nexus on good terms.
And we still need more outposts. They're important to expanding the station.
Though with Ark still missing, this could be a chance for Ryder to search for them. Yes, I think that's best. You have my permission.
I wasn't really asking for it.
Of course. I support that kind of enthusiasm.
Right.
Oh, Tan.
Ryder, this is Harry back on the Ark.
Go ahead.
We may have found a way to talk to your sister, sort of. Drop by when you can. Hyperion Med...
What?
Will do.
A reminder, you have AVP outstanding.
Brekka unlocked the AVP system. Just have to make the first spend to get started.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Hello, Pathfinder. I am Cryo Deployment Administrator Vladimir Brekka, C-63 Galati.
Hey, Brekka.
Your first task is to decide irrevocably the course of every life in the initiative.
Whoa, that seems like... too much.
Yes, of course. But now you respect what we're doing. Andromeda viability and the Nexus thresholds are your tools, your reward, and our future. How can I help?
So, I decide what groups to wake up. Won't everyone be out eventually?
Absolutely. But there's an order to things. Lines of support. You can't deploy an omelet without first deploying eggs. And eggs won't get you steak. Except it's people, and how all our lives begin.
How are you measuring thresholds?
It's based on resource estimates and general stability. A metric of acceptable scope and risk. The more you achieve, the greater capacity we can accommodate, the more the initiative can do for you. Simplest explanation? The more you do, the more room we have to grow.
What's the rundown on AVP?
Much of the preparation in the Milky Way was determining how to measure success. Thresholds are about capacity, but this is about cost, what we can actually afford to support. Points aren't the most elegant system, but it makes it clear. The more you earn, the more we can deploy.
All right, Brekka. Where do I start?
The interface is active and will respond only to a Pathfinder. It's ready for your first selection. You may begin shaping the initiative at your leisure.
Yes, Pathfinder?
How are we doing on the viability front?
Struggling. Need I remind you that viability isn't abstract? It's lives, our foothold. Get out there, Ryder. Pathfind. We're dying.
I have info on a specific sleeper I'd like brought out of cryo.
I want to avoid that entirely. For reasons.
Reasons? That's it?
Look, you're the Pathfinder. If you've a request for your extended team, that's a request you can make. Access the sleeper records through Brekka's console. It's none of my business. Until you make it a problem for me. Understood? Yes, Pathfinder?
How has the Nexus reacted to the foothold I've established?
We send them where you signal, because that's where the need is. There's no time for preference.
Director Addison?
Pathfinder.
Superintendent Cash reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand.
Welcome back, Scott Ryder. As personnel transfer to EOS, be sure every colonist has their survival kit and appropriate medical data. Please select a topic. Anchorage wheel construction is now resumed. Water treatment systems are undergoing overhaul with new resources.
Nice. Nice, nice. So So I did not need to go down here.
I gave Prodromos the best start a Pathfinder could. But we can't predict everything. We just do our best.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates. All personnel, be aware of any suspicious activity. Security is on heightened alert.
I gave Prodromos the best start a Pathfinder could. But we can't predict everything. We just do our best.
Any logistics updates are due within the hour. As sleepers wake from stasis, the initiative urgently requires blood, tissue, and DNA donation. See a medic if you think you may be eligible. This is HNS.
Watch your tone. You saw what happened to Kroger.
Related to cherry-like fruit.
Well, you're not getting it. Stop making frivolous requests.
It's...
Your incompetence isn't my problem. Just do your job.
Hey. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What do you want?
Whatever's going on, it's not fair to take it out on me.
Apologies, you're right. This is not your fault.
I haven't heard much good about that guy.
Whatever you've heard, it's not half as bad as the reality. Just last week, he tried to redirect some of the supplies we need to keep the stasis pods going.
Why?
I have no idea. But if Kesh hadn't stepped in and threatened to airlock him, it would have been a disaster. He's always like that. Making bad decisions, driving the Krogan away, treating people like scum when no one's watching.
Maybe there's something I can do?
A man like that's bound to have some dirt. I wish Tan and Addison could see it. Things have gotten so bad that Kesh had to literally kick him out of engineering.
How literal are we talking here?
Boot to ass. Oh, it was glorious. We need him gone, but as incompetent as Spender is at his job, he's insanely good at keeping it. Kesh can tell you more.
Hello? Anomaly on sensors. I saw pictures of the vault. Astounding how big it is. And how much of it didn't you see? What if it's way bigger? What's all that space for?
Wild remnant parties. What else would you use it for?
Well, that's a thought. You don't really think they... Oh, joking. I see. Good one.
When did you start believing in a god?
My parents were both scientists. My home was ruled by rationality. So when I became a teenager, let's just say that while other kids found Batarian music, I found God.
But your work as a scientist...
Convinced me even more. Especially when I got into molecular biology, physics. The patterns I kept seeing over and over again. They were like an artist's watermarks. God, to me, is an artist. An inventor. Not someone checking to see if I brush my teeth.
What do you know about the Remnant's terraforming network?
From what I can tell, the vault is designed to adjust almost everything about a planet. Climate, pH of the soil, atmosphere composition. There's even evidence that it can propagate life. If we can figure out how to control the vaults, we could turn these worlds into perfect
Mass Effect
habitats.
Andromeda.
When did you start believing in a god?
My parents were both scientists. My home was ruled by rationality. So when I became a teenager, let's just say that while other kids found Batarian
Dark Souls?
music,
No.
I found God.
No, not yet.
But
Yep.
your work as a scientist...
Convinced me even more. Especially when I got into molecular biology, physics. The patterns I kept seeing over and over again. They were like an artist's watermarks. God, to me, is an artist. An inventor. Not someone checking to see if I brush my teeth.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good.
I hear this joker beat you at poker too. Where'd you hear that?
The little Brody told her.
A gloating Brody.
Terraforming, Atmo processors, gravity wells, life-destroying murder bubbles. We really had no idea what Helios was about, did we?
If we knew what it was all about, it wouldn't be an adventure. It would just be moving. And everyone hates moving. Just the packing alone, ugh.
Point taken. I'm just saying. I really hope you have a plan, Ryder.
The plan's the same. We find a home. Whatever that takes.
Keep that drive. Makes me believe we can make it. I mean, we have to make it. The alternative is not even worth thinking about.
You were on the Nexus when the revolt happened?
When you promise people golden worlds and all they get are wastelands and a death cloud, they riot. Some wanted to go home, some demanded answers, and a couple just wanted to stir shit up.
And you?
Some days I wondered if the exiles had a point. Maybe we were conned into coming here. But why would the initiative go to all the trouble just to screw us over?
Mhm.
Thing about conning people, you always know something they don't. And that's why the con works. And if I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking the liars.
You talked about your back channels. What did you mean?
We brought a lot from home. Some of it marked initiative, some of it in personal caches. Most things you want, someone's got. You just have to figure out who, and what they're willing to take in exchange.
That just sounds like you're taking advantage of people.
Is it? I get people what they want, and they do want, or they wouldn't pay.
How did you hear of the Andromeda initiative?
Short answer, Cash. She was looking for some experimental ship mods, and I knew how to track them down. I thought it was a one-time deal, but she came back. Once, twice. Eventually I figured out something was going on, something big with creds behind it. I asked and she told me about the initiative. New galaxy, new home. Couldn't pass that up.
Have anyone else here with you? Besides Sid?
No, just me and Sid. It's always been just the two of us.
No, I mean, someone special.
Special? Oh. You mean like... Oh. No, nothing like that. Who has time? What about you?
Anywhere's gonna feel empty if you don't have someone to share it with.
A romantic? I wasn't expecting that. And again, the entire idea of leaving everything you know for a chance at something new is kind of romantic. Anyway.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Peace.
Hi there. Just checking in.
What's up?
I like it when you flirt. I wouldn't want you to stop.
Have I flirted with you? Don't worry, Ryder. I'm relentless. It relaxes me.
Thanks for chatting. We'll talk again later.
You know it.
Yup.
I'm working with a vet, Richard. Feeling okay?
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
Anyway. Hey, Cora.
Back again?
How's the search for the Asari Ark going?
The Lucinia? Checking every comm that's coming in. Nothing concrete yet.
Any more Commando war stories?
Tethys was our sniper. She was old. Matriarch old. Maybe more. Didn't show.
A little scary.
She was. Always seemed to be hiding something. But she kept us safe.
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
I've seen a lot of shit in my life, but that vault certainly was a first. Things are gonna be interesting with you around, kid.
Doesn't matter what life throws at me. It's what I make of it, right?
You keep that going, you just might live as long as I have. Minus 0 at the end.
I saw Spender earlier. He was talking to Kesh's assistant.
That scrawny little assistant of hers, Dal. She sure doesn't like him either.
I've only seen him talk to her once, and I get it.
Most people who meet him hate him.
It's only a matter of time before he does something that'll put the Nexus in danger. Let's make sure that doesn't happen.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
Those remnant vaults all the secrets. Have to go exploring in one someday.
Imagine flying through one. Now that would be a real hazard course.
Anomaly on sensors.